it better? Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you a lot better. Yeah.
Have you been all right?
Yeah, I've been all right.
Merhaba Övünç Bey.
Ibrahim Bey, how are you?
Çok büyük katılım var. Barış Bey
Ha.
katılmadı. Where is Katan? Mr. AJ.
I'm not sure. He said she
I'm
would.
not sure. So. It's okay. No worries. No worries. It's okay.
Would you like to go ahead?
Yes, we can go ahead. We can get Övünç Bey. We can get the updates from you for the. Barış Bey, I think, is in the hospital also. This is what I heard. Did we start it for recording or no? Not yet.
Yep, started.
All right, Sylvie. I think everybody knows Mr. Övünç, right?
Yeah.
Övünç. And Övünç, you know everyone?
Yes, of course. I know everyone.
Alright.
Our most efficient interns.
Yes, the best team forever. But team, if you don't mind, it's better you to open the camera. But unless you are doing something else, but it can show crowded, right? It's like a teleconference, right? Guys, hello.
Hi everyone.
Much, Övünç Bey. But
Yeah, that's all right.
So I will do the live streaming on Facebook while we have discussion session. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to turn on my camera. Yeah. I'm with Sylvie right now. That's why I'm using her microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or else there's gonna be an
Yeah. So
echo.
I will share. I will upload.
Also, we should join to you guys, or we should do from somewhere else all together in a meeting room.
Sorry.
Next time. We should do in the meeting room all together next time.
Yeah. Okay, but right now I will share the screening, and I will do the live streaming on our TTA Facebook.
Very good. Well done.
Yes, tell me when you guys are ready for the discussion. So I will post it on Facebook right now, and I will send the link to the group.
Start.
And also I'm not sure if I be able to turn on my camera or microphone or not, because it will affect the sound system, as well as Sylvie, because she is recording the screen for everyone and will posting on YouTube too.
No, it's good, very good actually. I mean, there's no, well, I mean, one of you can, yes. Okay, fine.
Okay.
All right.
Why is it like that? Do you see Mike?
Yeah, we can see your camera. It's a lot of.
Right?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's.
Okay.
Seems okay. Seems okay now. Yeah.
So if you guys are ready, I will post our streaming on Facebook right now.
Yep.
Okay, I'll be back a bit. I will change the link and then I'll post it.
I'm trying to make the behind blur. How can I make it? I couldn't find blur. How you done?
Go to your camera image. You know, or the
Yes, I went.
Frame. Then you should find there's a if you hover over your mouse, you're going to find this quick menu popping up in the middle.
Yes.
Then there's a blur thing on just in the middle, the blur button.
In the middle.
Yeah. Abi şey yap işte, tam böyle mouse'u hareket ettir kendi görüntünün üzerinde. Ortada bir tane görüntü çıkıyor küçük. Küçük menü çıkıyor. O menüde işte bir tane pin var, 3 nokta var. Ortada da blur şeyi var. O ikona basıyorsun.
Ortada bir şey yok ama.
Allah Allah. O zaman altta kameranın şeyine bak. Orada web ayarları var. Kamera ikonunun yan tarafında ok var. Ona basarsan sağda yine çıkıyor blur şeyi. Görsel efekt uygula.
Enteresan.
Gördün mü?
Apply Visual Effects.
Aha, blur orada var.
Ama orada yok işte blur. Her şey var, bir blur yok.
O zaman başka bir şey koy araya. Arkaya.
Aynen.
Uzay.
Aynen. Güzel. Okay.
Blur olmaması çok enteresan.
Buldum.
Blur, orada ikincide var.
Alright. Alright. Very good. Okay. Oh, there are many things.
Yeah.
Really funny. Okay, are we starting or?
Yeah, we can start if you like.
Yeah. Yes. I want to start. Now I change my place.
Nice
Oh.
filter.
Huh?
Nice filter.
Övünç Bey.
Güzel.
Evet. It's a bit fun. I change my style. Yes, we can
Okay,
start.
yeah.
How did you find my hair?
Your hair is beautiful.
Yes, why not?
Çok iyi.
Evet. Aynen. Bekliyoruz.
All right. Let me start, but first to clarify, because I'm a bit confused still about the concept. So at first it was supposed to be just for Australia, but afterwards it seems like we're just sharing all around the world. Yeah?
But we have only you anyway.
Yeah, but we have you guys as well, so you can share things also. From my end, I think Australia is having really calm times, except for Queensland. If you've been following some news, northeast section of Australia, we have the Queensland state, and in March there was a tropical storm, and then shortly after, either after that or associated with another storm, not hitting directly but impacting still, there's been a lot of floods recently. So there are some reliefs and so on that's happening there. That was a bit challenging for the Queenslanders there. Now, every now and then, we're not like United States. We're definitely not like them. But every now and then we have a lot of disasters happening here and there. We're lucky enough to be away from any. Probably we're out of the risky zones when it comes to earthquakes. So we have earthquakes every now and then, but they are quite minor. Never like Japan or never like Turkey, but especially New South Wales area and Victoria, we are very much prone to bushfires. They call it bushfires, but actually that's the forest fires. There are some interesting stories behind it. Sometimes they say that it is actually beneficial to have fires because, in a way, it revitalizes nature. Yeah, in a way, it helps revitalize the nature. I mean, yes, of course, there are a lot of flora and fauna getting damaged or getting harmed out of that, but in a way, it also helps all the trees regrow and refresh in a way. And even there are some sayings that some of the local people, some of the first peoples, we prefer to call them like that, but they're also known as Aboriginal people. They tend to occupy a place and then create some controlled fires in that area, then move to another place, almost in a cycle. By the time they get back to that same land where they started first, it is already flourishing again with nature and so on. So there are some stories as such. Some of the good news that we have these days is that the interest rates from the Reserve Bank has been announced as a bit dropped even or kept steady. This is good news, especially if people there are people who wants to go for some housing and so on, or at least
drop down.
Well, personally, mine has dropped out, but the Reserve Bank's rates did not increase; it was held steady, which is a great thing. But having said that, there has always been some challenges in the housing industry. I think last year or so, it was really difficult for people to apply and get some loans. Each loan was really scrutinized and going through some detailed investigations and so on. I think there has been some losses significantly. Even say late 23, early 24, there has been some number of important or known reputable builders that went bankrupt and so on, that they were liquidated and so on. A lot of people were suffered from that. We don't hear these news these days, so it's slightly better. But the raw materials, the housing materials, construction materials, is always quite expensive. Therefore, building is quite expensive in itself. But having said that, the interest rates haven't gone up, so which is a pleasant news for many other people there. Other than that, something that personally I'm interested in, and probably you might not know exactly why, but we have been having some issues with the avian flu, and a lot of our
Which flu? What did you say?
avian
Avian flu.
avian flu,
When was it?
chicken flu, bird flu.
Yeah.
But it's been, at the start of the year, I think, especially Victoria was struck twice in a row, and that definitely impacted, the eggs availability in the market and so on. Why is it impacting me? Because in my new job, we are manufacturing egg cartons, basically. So, which is quite interesting. I find it quite interesting. Hey, Cotton, good to see you, or at least.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good. So that we're still running the business, but obviously it is a bit of an issue. And something that I probably explained in the previous webinar as well, but generally speaking, one of the hardest things in Australia is manufacturing. There are a lot of costs involved in manufacturing, not only in relation to materials and so on, or the energy and other things, but in relation to labor costs, it is significantly high.
Is there earthquakes in Australia?
Sorry?
Earthquake.
No, I mean, I was telling that. So probably we are not impacted by any other neighboring tectonic plates, unlike Turkey. Therefore, when we have earthquakes, it's usually quite mild, and I think it is more so happening not because of any other tectonic plate pushing us, but more so because of any volcanic subaquatic or under the sea volcanic movements that causes some tremors. So it's never too much. It's never too much.
Are there like risks
of
of
course you can
tsunamis and stuff?
What's that? Sorry.
Are there like risks of tsunamis?
Not so much, no. Well, in case there's an issue of a significantly major earthquake, I would say there's always a potential for having some tsunamis because we are open to seas all around. So we're basically a large island. So a tsunami might come in any situation, and we got a lot of establishment along the shoreline as well. But having said that, because we don't have that much of a risk, I don't think it is regarded as a high risk in that sense. But there's always a possibility, I would say. Having said that, we'll talk about shoreline. One thing to note about Australia is that majority of the establishments or majority of the settlements is always happening along the shoreline. Even if you get closer to the maps or the satellite images, it is almost like quite greenish on the outer side or close to the shores. When you go inside, rather what they call as an outback, as you come closer to the inside or to the regional areas, you can see that it is a bit more dry land. It's a bit more definitely rural and less population. I've actually never been there, so I'm within my I'm completing my eighth year shortly, and I've never been to those places. There are some interesting tour opportunities that you can get on a train and travel on a train. They got some nice tour opportunities, but I've never taken the chance. the scenic drive along the shoreline is good itself, and you can capture great moments when you're traveling along the shoreline as well. Other than that, I think it is in Australia pretty much business as usual. Couple of weeks back, and I haven't seen any updates, but a couple of weeks back, Australia was under the risk of the US imposing increased tax tariffs to themselves as well, and that was a bit of an issue for Australia. And even our Prime Minister raised some concerns and said that this is not fair and so on. I think they wanted to have some discussion with Trump. I don't know what it led to. For me, I'm always amazed to I'm always thinking, especially in my region, say Victoria, what is our main income? So how do we make our living, generally speaking? Is it just the construction industry? I know that education takes a big portion. We accept a lot of international students, and some of our universities are really reputable and giving some opportunities. And you can appreciate that there are a lot of people coming over, and they get in. Sorry.
I have a question about students. I heard when we come back, Australia, they issued new regulations, new requirements for those foreign students who wants to come and apply for education in Australia. So it's getting more difficult. And then I see that there was also disagreement with the universities, between the government. Actually, universities are complaining about these new requirements which is affecting their business anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I personally haven't heard or seen anything. But having said that, I think I followed the Turkish news more than the Australian news, to be honest. And it would be very surprising if that is the case, because I know that economy education is a big driving force behind the overall economy, I would say. Because you don't only it's a whole cycle. You don't only pay for the for the education. You also pay for the government for all the visa applications and whatnot. You also find some place to rent and so on. So this definitely contributes to the economy. So I would really be surprised if they try to do something like that.
And how are the prices of the real estate? Since you touched to the real estate prices, are they better or still expensive?
Well,
can you give us examples?
Yeah, a friend of mine was visiting almost like a residential, a coastal settlement, like a suburb with a marina and so on. It's quite far away from the main area. Let me try to find out. I'll check something. I'll try to show you the photo if I can. He found, right, okay, found it.
Is it US Australian dollar 1.5 million?
Correct.
For sale.
Yeah. So it's like a.
Is it in the heart of the city or?
No, it's in a place called Sale. Sale is 2.5 hours drive from here, so it's quite far away.
But the beauty, like in the village.
Yeah, but the beauty of such towns or suburbs is that even if you consider that quite far away, there's always a certain quality that you catch up with these type of towns. Yeah. You're always going to find a decent cafe. You're going to find your shopping centers, your markets, your art galleries, or so on. There's definitely something going to be there. So obviously, if you stay in the long run, you might be boring for you a bit, but there's still some things that you can make yourself a bit more engaged, if I may say. I think one of the major issues that Australia needs to focus on these days is try to make the opportunities, especially the job opportunities, for in the rural areas or in the countryside, a bit more uniform. Because all the attention is now in the cities, and as with many other major cities or capital cities that you can think of, there's a big congestion, and life is becoming day by day a bit more difficult. Traveling, commuting from work to home and back, or vice versa, or when you're traveling to reach out to your university or your course and so on, you definitely spend some time on the road, and it is becoming stressful. The infrastructure is always a question mark as well, but I think so far it's been okay. I mean, we haven't seen any outages, neither from water point of view or from electricity, etc., nor from the gas. I think everything at the moment is going well, but I know that Melbourne is one of the two main cities that are really having a big intake is Melbourne and Sydney. And because compared to Sydney, Melbourne still is more affordable from a cost of living perspective, there's definitely a more attraction towards Melbourne. Some studies said that in the coming 10-15 years, the population of Melbourne even might exceed Sydney. And I know from my experience, I've seen quite a few people moving from Sydney to Melbourne or any other place because of the cost of living. And they intend to save some money and so on. So these type of, our area is much more attractive for them. And if you ask me where my favorite place is, I think I've made a really good decision by picking Melbourne as a place to live. Especially from art perspective, I think it is better than many other places. I've already listed down a lot of concerts and stuff that we're going to go in the next month. I'm really excited for that.
In Melbourne?
Yes.
They don't go to Sydney?
They do as well, I think. But for some reason, I find that a bit more in here.
Maybe, yeah.
Victoria, Melbourne is the most coffee consuming state or city. I think when compared to the others, we are a bit more slow or easy and laid back in a way. Probably not as laid back as South Australia, but there's definitely something hip about Melbourne, if you know what I mean. If you were to compare the cities with Turkey, definitely, probably Melbourne would be Izmir, and Sydney would be Istanbul. And in Sydney, you have more job opportunities, but similarly, life is faster, a bit more rushed. So it's a question mark whether you're really enjoying your life when you're there. But definitely, your earn would be probably more, but your spend will be more accordingly. Whereas in here, I mean, yeah, you can even, if you're smart enough, and if you're able to control your spend properly, and you don't mind sharing your house or wherever you're living with another person, you can make your living just by, being a barber or working at a cafe or doing something. Many people come here, they study, and at the same time they do Uber. They share the housing with one or two people, and they're comfortable enough. They go out, they have fun. On an average weekend, you can go out and see people, enjoying their life. And I think that's a big luxury that you cannot trade with anything else.
What's in the next concert, Övünç Bey? Who's coming there?
Tom Morello.
Who?
Tom Morello.
Tom Morello.
You know Rage Against the Machine?
I know Rage Against the Machine. So
that the guitarist of.
He didn't die.
No, no, they didn't die.
Really? Oh, because they're quite old right now.
No, I'm going to someone older. Guess what? I'm going to ZZ Top. They're coming in May or something.
Yes, oh. Okay. Age,
Yeah.
mission, yes. I remember them.
Yeah.
I
Other than that, I mean, from a personal point of view, I find life quite busy.
Yes.
And potentially it's up to you to make it even busier for yourself. Depending on how you start and end work, depending on your working hours, you can make yourself a really, really enjoyable life, I think. Because my travel is still taking some time, I tend to start early and leave a bit workplace a bit early. But anyone smarter than me would be able to, start early, finish early at work, and then move over to something else, doing something else.
When you say
can explore
start
a lot of
early,
opportunities.
start early, finish early means?
Well, I usually try to be in the workplace at 7:15, 7:30 latest, and try to leave 4:30 or so. And in 1 hour time, I will be back at home, and then do whatever. But again, one of the things that I like about here is that people respect your working hours. And if you come early, you leave early. So 6 to 2 or 7 to 3. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. Some companies.
I start 6:30 and I finish 6:30.
Oh no. Oh no.
Something.
No. In here, there's really a good work-life balance, and especially after COVID, it was.
Wow.
I mean, it was becoming almost ridiculous. I'll tell you, because with COVID, with the pandemic, when people were locked down, they started to understand that they can easily work from home. And many companies took a benefit out of it and then shut down their offices or reduced their offices, right? Or downsized their offices, and allowed many people to work from home.
Yes.
And some of the companies offered a 50-50,
Yes.
Say that if you're working, say, for example, 10 days, you can work up to 5 days from your home, and the rest you should be in the office. Some are not so, although if you ask me, realistically, I think there are many roles that you can ask them to work from home. But I mean, again, from my perspective, being a safety guy, there's a big risk with that one as well, because the workers' compensation scheme in Australia covers a wide variety of injuries of people, especially work-related. So let me give you an example. So 2 workplaces back, one lady, she was working from home that day, and she had to go out and pick something from her car, and she went out and came back. And she entered her house with her wet shoes or slippers, whatever. She slipped on the floor. She fell down. She broke her rib, or she hit her face and I think her shoulder to the nearby bench. And if you look from that point of view, everything is herself. Yeah, it's her fault in a way to go out and come back with walking with slippery foot, and then it's her office or it's her home and whatever. But just because it happened during the working hours and it's because of work, she made a claim and the insurance accepted it, and all these costs associated with that injury was paid by the insurer. So the downside of that one is that the more you have these type of things, the more your insurance premium increases. And as a result, every year you have some companies paying huge amount of money to the insurers. And this is one of the reasons why, especially manufacturing and similar work, is really hard to do in Australia. So people say that instead of bringing in 50 people to manufacture so and so, I can easily import them from anywhere else, and it will be 1/3 of the cost. So why bother? Yeah. So that's the common understanding. And
So do you like Bangkok or Australia now?
well, to be able to answer the question first, you should invite me to Bangkok. I've never been there.
Oh, you
She
have
cannot-
never been Bangkok?
She
I
cannot
thought
invite you
you
to
did.
Bangkok in which way? She can invite you to Hong Kong, right, cousin?
Yes. No, I
Ooh.
can invite you to visit the both countries.
Yeah, why not? Why
So,
not? I mean,
Oh.
one minus thing for me from Thailand point of view would be the humidity, I guess. But you know, Mr. Ibrahim and I worked in the Gulf or Middle East, where you have lots of humidity, so we should have some sort of familiarity with the thing. I don't mind Thailand actually. I would like to visit one day if I have the chance. And definitely Hong Kong. I got some
Yes,
friends
sure,
from
it's
Hong
the
Kong, and yeah, I would like to visit once. So what's happening? What's happening in the Thailand world? Is everything going all right?
before Thailand, one more question. When is
Yeah, of course.
elections? In which way? Elections?
Ooh, I think we recently held the elections.
I don't know.
We had the local elections not so long ago, some months ago. I would say maybe in 27.
Oh, long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
I
party
would
is
say so.
the winner?
At the moment, it's Liberals, I think.
I don't
It's
know.
Liberals or Labour? Hang on,
We're
hang
very
on.
far from the politics in Australia.
No, one second.
It's okay.
Well, Labour. Sorry,
Labour
Albanese.
Party.
It's Labour Party now. Yeah.
Wow.
So, sorry. Yes, he's elected in 2022.
Yeah.
When is the
The
next
elections are coming.
federal election? Well, you're right. You know, federal election. 2025. What?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I
You
was
beat me,
asking
man.
you. Yes,
You're right. You're right.
But will he be elected? Because I see many comments about him. That's the reason. Him or
Well,
right?
believe it or not, so for me, or at least as an individual, I haven't felt any difference, no matter what the government was. So ever since I'm here, I've seen 3 prime ministers, and the approach was more or less the same. Yeah.
Okay, that's good then.
On a let's say citizen level, or on a resident level, that's what I felt. Unlike some other country where you you have someone else in power and everything changes for everyone. Anyway.
Right. Okay. And shall we ask Cotton, how is Hong Kong? Cotton, anything is happening? How is the economy, business, life, temperatures? Cool.
I can say that the weather in Hong Kong is so crazy. Like, for example, today is like 19 degrees Celsius, but for tomorrow it can be like 25 or 26.
Oh
And
my
then for
God.
another day it can be 14.
14. Wow,
Yes.
big changes.
Yes.
Wow. How
So
is
the
the
weather
economy?
is like,
How is inflation? How is life there?
you mean,
I mean, is it expensive still? How is
the living
people?
cost? Oh, I can
of
say
living?
that the living cost becomes more expensive now, and for the people who are looking for the job, now the situation is very difficult because of the economic situation. Before they are really related to China, and you know that now China, they do have their own issues, so it affects a lot the economy in Hong Kong.
Okay, that's not good, yeah.
And I would like to know about the earthquake in Thailand.
Yeah, I think this one I can update also, but Sylvie, Pin, AJ, you want to update? Also, you can give some information. Right?
Because I heard that the building that collapsed was built by the Chinese
Correct, the Chinese
agency or something.
No, Chinese contractor, actually.
Contractor.
But the problem is this contractor is very unknown. So just established company here. There are many rumors, of course. We don't know. I mean, suddenly, yeah. I mean, it's a big question mark, and it's interesting, of course, quality of the structure. So here, the earthquake was in Myanmar, the center. So first of all, I mean, as Övünç Bey mentioned, we are very familiar with the earthquakes in Turkey and the Mediterranean Sea. But I was thinking that there will be no earthquake in Bangkok. Well, I mean, because it's not an earthquake zone. But then we shocked on Friday. It was around almost 1:30 p.m. And then, yeah. And
What
then
were you doing at that time? Like, what
we
were
were in
you
a meeting. We were in a meeting. I was in a meeting. So, but we
So
were.
did you feel the earthquake?
Yeah, we
Like-
felt. I mean, we were sitting there. We thought that, but not strong. I mean, the magnitude shows very strong, and then in the news, unfortunately, they publish like very bad damage, but not really. I mean, only one building which was under construction has been collapsed, but it's not because of the reason of that quality of the structures are here is super good. It's because of the magnitude. I mean, the power of the earthquake, I believe it was not strong. We are lucky. We are very lucky. We moved. We moved. I mean, moving, but it's not, strong like that. I mean, it was not shaking. I lived in Istanbul. I mean, the earthquake. I mean, you are hardly, you see in the Japan also, right? You are holding the wall. You are holding the table not to move. So in Thailand, it was not the case. It was moving. I mean, like. How can we say, like a salıncak, how you say salıncak, Övünç Bey?
Swaying.
So it was your first time to experience the
Like a swing.
Swing, yeah, swing, slow swing. But we are lucky, but I cannot imagine if it was like strong, like you can see the earthquake videos, the last one 3 years ago from Turkey. I mean, it is scary, of course, horrible. So we were lucky. It's not like that. Maybe the center was Myanmar. By me, Sylvie, you were saying something else. You can add?
Yeah, no, so it's just the at ground level it didn't feel as crazy as like the other videos you might see from Turkey and Japan and those things. But when you're higher up in the building, so like the higher up you go, the more you feel the shaking. And in a lot of the condominiums and office buildings and hospitals even, there's like cracks in the walls and stuff. It's not very common here, so people are pretty shaken up.
And the country was not ready for earthquake. This is what we saw also. Right after the earthquake, people doesn't know what to do. I mean, it was another thing. So, and there's a news I read on the Bangkok Post 2 years ago. I just opened. I mean, last week. They warn BMA to check the buildings. They say don't minimize the earthquake risk. Yeah, I mean, it's very good article. 2 years ago they posted, and they say all these high-rise towers are they checked by the authority? Like normally municipality or government has to check and certify these buildings, right? But unfortunately, because of the corruption, probably they sign easily. But I believe if the designer and contractor is Japanese, I mean, even you kill them, they will not do something wrong. They are, they are corruption is very low in Japan. In the Japanese companies also, they are very ethic. So, but except Japanese, any other contractor, it might be a big question mark, of course. All of them, including European, Turkish, Thai, or American, it's a big question mark. You need to double check who involved on the design, who built the construction, so and who approved. So that's the case now. As Sylvie mentioned, many of the buildings has been damaged also. That's another thing. So there's a risk. And like in Turkey, very, very similar. There are some damages, but they covered very quickly. Very quickly.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, I got something on that one, but maybe we can talk about it by the end. Well, by the end, in the sense we're almost done, I think.
I have 10 minutes.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, we have 10 minutes only, unfortunately. Hello? There's a cat. We heard
Yes,
cat.
it's my cat.
Cotton's cat. How is the cat's life
Right.
in Hong
Can you
Kong?
hear me? I think so. There was something wrong with my connection.
Might be. We
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay. All right. So the question, hey, what I wanted to ask was, yeah, wonderful. Yeah.
What happened? Okay. I think you hear our voice later.
Cutting, you have to show us the cat.
I think you did have the delayed.
I
in
think exactly.
Australia.
And I'll turn my camera off.
She left already, my
My
cat.
connection is horrible.
Yes, there's a delay, I think, to ocean. Yeah. So
I can
yeah,
show you a picture later.
so what was the question, eventually?
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened.
No problem. Okay, so anyone else, Pin, Nidar, AJ, you want to comment about the earthquake and what is your?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you. You want to share what's your experience?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you, Övünç.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you also, AJ, but very low.
So, pretty much same situation as all the others. You know, there was a bit of swaying.
Your voice is low, AJ.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
Okay, so yeah, pretty much, you know, we felt the earthquake, and it was also in the news like 2 days ago that some people felt the tremor in the building, but me personally, I didn't feel it 2 days ago when it happened, and you know, I was reading and I was keeping up with the updates, but on Friday, you know, I felt it like Ivy said, it was swaying, and as for my last memory, I don't remember a situation like this happening. I don't know if any of you have felt it in the past maybe 10, 15, 20 years. If you can share something.
So yeah, I mean, the one in Istanbul, it was 7.2, I think, but it was very bad.
It was horrible.
Yeah. So depends where it is, of course. I mean, the center and how it's close, and then of course, frequency is also important. You know, some of them is like pushing you from the bottom. Some of them like swing.
Yeah.
Swing is okay, but the one which is pushing, you know, like bum 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 bum, like this also damage many buildings there. But anyway.
Yeah.
So what we learned now, so earthquake, of course, never know when can be happen, where can be happen. So if you are building,
Guys, can you hear me?
You can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. The app says that, or Google Meet says that we got 6 minutes remaining. Okay, so if you don't mind, I want to ask this question. Guys, did TTA do anything about the earthquakes in southeast Turkey?
Yes, we did.
Really, what did you do? I don't remember.
We collected money each way. Remember?
Did I? Maybe I didn't pay anything. I
don't know. Maybe you paid, maybe you didn't pay. I don't remember also, but we collected how much? $30,000.
Wow, nice.
It's good. Yeah, it's good contribution, $30,000, and we send it to the two one authority, civil savunma, I think, what was the name? Another one is Lavuk Levent. We sent to him. We don't know what he done. Anadolu Rakçı.
Did you say Lavuk Levent?
Yes, exactly. Lavuk Levent, I said. This is what I was telling him when he was doing Anatolian Right. Because, you know, he gave a check, which he didn't pay a couple of times. He done this, but not pay. So, both parties are corrupted, so don't know where to trust, of course, but we send it both of them. So we divided to two.
I see.
Yes.
Now, it's been 2 years now already, or it's
Yes, 2
going
years,
second
yes.
year?
Yes, I think so.
You know, yeah, I think so. And I still feel like the work isn't undone there. Like, to all the audience here, I'm not sure if you were aware, but 3 or 4 cities were completely destroyed, like totally annihilated.
Yes.
It's like horrible stuff. Anyway, but it's good that I really don't remember about the contribution, but if you guys did it, that's awesome.
No, we done big contribution here, Övünç Bey.
Okay,
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
Well, is there anything else that you want me to find out and share with the people, with the team, with the TTA about Australia? Anything economic?
Yes,
or
if
whatnot?
there's any changes for the foreign investment, of course. I mean, that might be interesting. Right, guys? I mean, do you have any questions? Normally, young generation, they have got many questions about Australia, USA, about living there, cost of living, jobs. What are the most popular jobs in Australia?
Well, because my safety alerts, job alerts are usually focusing on safety. I can tell about safety, but there are a lot of opportunities coming up. I mean, it's not like flowing, it's not massive, but every week you're going to find at least 3 or 4 job ads coming up in relation to safety. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not bad, and it's just from LinkedIn. So you got other opportunities as well, probably not only on LinkedIn but somewhere else. And I think the economy is not doing bad. Maybe I'm wrong. Seemingly it's going okay, though again, cost of living is quite expensive. You need to manage.
Okay. 2 minutes.
Yes, someone's.
What happened?
Did you raise your hand?
Not me.
Not you, TTA.
Yes, maybe by mistake, I don't know. But anyway.
Okay.
No, 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, any questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Nothing from my end, to be honest. I'm waiting for TTA to invite me.
Yes,
we're going to have the first global meeting in Bangkok.
I think so. I think it's better, right?
Why not?
Exactly. Look, very good idea, AJ. Yes, we can do the next before the spring, before the autumn. We can do the event here, global TTA night.
Yeah.
Invite all the members from different countries, right? Good idea.
Yep.
Okay, let's do this one then. Övünç Bey, but you have to come. All right.
Why not?
Why not? Exactly. All right. It's just 10 hours. Oh, you see everybody become happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll do this one. Okay, very good. All right, so shall we wrap up?
Yep. Good to see you all.
Good to see you. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for everyone. Thanks,
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.